Back in 2009, the Iowa Western football team began its inaugural season with an 0-3 record. But since then, head coach Scott Strohmeyer's squad has won 35 of their last 40 games, including all 12 in 2012 to win the NJCAA National Championship in just the program's fourth year of existence. It was one of the most dominant runs in the history of the NJCAA, with the Reavers setting numerous all-time records on offense, racking up just under 600 yards a game and 63 points a ball game. Gone are 19 players sent to Division I programs, and so Iowa Western turns the page for the 2013 season with a number 4 preseason ranking and a ton of new faces on both sides of the ball. The Reavers' quest to defend the national title begins in Athens, Texas on August 24th. Traveling south to take on a storied Trinity Valley program. Highlights coming up on the Coach Stroh Show right here on CBTV Channel 17. Well, hello and welcome to the Coach Stroh Show on CBTV Channel 17. I'm Jake Ryan, joined by the 2012 NJCAA National Coach of the Year, Iowa Western head coach Scott Strohmeyer. Coach, your team heads down to Texas for a big-time early season matchup. How important was this game in regards to finding out where your club is as a football team?
Well, it was really big, obviously, with so many new faces and first road test of the year. We really haven't, in other years we've had kind of a startup game, I would say, that give us an opportunity, and this one was a battle, right? We knew it was going to be, so it gave us an opportunity to see some guys playing a big-time stage.
Well, let's take a look at the highlights from the game. You start out, you get the ball, they win the toss, but decide to give you the ball first, and then you go on the opening drive, and it looked just like last year. You guys were moving the ball fairly well. You hand off to Akis Teague here. He gets a good rip across the 50-yard line. And then things, well, they kind of stall out a little bit, and you have to make a decision early on, and it was to go to Danny Hamilton for a field goal.
That was why we took him on the roster. You know, he's been consistent kicking field goals for us and comes through the big 39-yarder.
Well, after trading punts, you get this one, and we thought probably that that Denarius was tackled on this play, and you can see right here, it looks like several players get him, but then he busts out, almost looks like Tommy Frazier breaking out of all those tackles, and he goes 86 yards for the return.
Disappointing. I mean, we had him, and I think some guys gave up because they thought he was down, and then he just kept fighting and busting through. That's one of the areas we got to improve on for sure.
First time the team trails since against Grand Rapids in 2011. Following another Iowa Western punt, Ryan Polite, hands off to Marquel McNack, and the defense playing well early.
They did. They came out ready to go.
Later in the quarter, the Reavers get their 5th possession. Connor Brevard to Akis Teague, who caught several passes on the day for a pretty good gain. And then another incompletion early on. What was the problem early on? Was it miscommunication?
Well, I think, just we had to kind of get into the flow of the game as well, and just get a bunch of new guys and trying to get on the same page.
Well, this time around, it is Iowa Western playing defense again very strong. And while Trinity Valley had their opportunities, your defense certainly was great. You see right here that the defense right in the backfield, and they get to the runner almost immediately.
We talk about that all the time. When one unit's not maybe playing up to their potential, the other part has to pick it up defensively. Did a heck of a job to start the game.
Well, and here's a good run by the tailback, but they cough it up, and it's the first turnover, the first of 3 fumbles on the day for Trinity Valley.
It was big. Like I said, our defense kind of got the momentum going for us, getting the turnover.
Deep in your own territory, a little completion to Alex Reed. He gets a good gain, but he's still going to be short a little bit of that first down yardage.
We played behind the sticks there for a while there, where we're 2nd and long, 3rd and long, and it's tough with our offense.
Here comes another turnover by Trinity Valley, scooped up, and another good field position here, and I believe this is the one that's going to result in the touchdown. And the first play is Connor Brevard to Akis again out of the backfield.
Yeah, and it comes down. That's his check down out of it. They covered everything up, and he came down for the completion and and get the offense rolling.
Geronimo Allison didn't catch a touchdown, but he did have a team-leading 10 receptions. Here's one of them, 15 yards on the completion from Connor.
Nice run after the catch. Connor gets it to him, and he spins out of it and gets up the sideline, puts us inside the 15.
And finally, one of the new members of the Reavers, George Seal, wide open on this play, 7 yards out for the touchdown.
Nice little play-action pass. We knew going into it that this would be a good opportunity. That play scored 3 touchdowns.
Well, Trinity Valley looks to respond. They set up at midfield. Here comes a short run as they start to get that offense rolling. But again, your defense came in as the strong unit, and they continue to stack up.
They did, and like I said, I was really pleased with them all game long. Just really kept the pressure on. They were on the field with some long drives too.
You see Marco Naughton getting in the backfield. Good to see Marco back on the field after that knee injury last year.
For sure, and he had a really good game. Again, it was his first time in a year of being out there, missed all spring ball and made some plays.
Looked like they were going wildcat on that play. Tata Green comes up with a loss of 5 yards, and then another fumble, this time getting in the backfield quickly, and the Reavers didn't even give him a chance to catch the ball.
I thought Trevon was going to be able to pick that up and take it. That was a big swing there, I was hoping.
Well, 8th possession of the game for the Reavers, and Connor Brevard again to Geronimo Allison, and Gmo going 58 yards on this catch.
It was a big one. The drive before, I think we completed the slant. This one was a little slant and go, and there's a new corner in there. We went at him right away. Big play.
Another player injured last season in his senior year of high school. It's Alex Reed out of Lewis Central. Big game for Alex.
It was, and it was, you never really, kids coming back, and we were really pleased with his first game.
Yeah, looking to extend the lead here, and Danny Hamilton's kick is blocked. What happened on the play?
Well, it was just, they came hard off that edge. It's, again, special teams week 1. We had some mistakes on some of our special teams and offense and defense, but those are the ones that we can't continue to have.
Well, again, fairly decent field position for Trinity Valley, but they just can't seem to get the offense going. Ryan Polite was replaced briefly by their backup quarterback, but he came in and just really couldn't get things going, and you guys forced another 3 and out.
And I think that's the thing, with our defense. If we're play sound, make them, don't give up the big one, and I think for the most part we've kept their big plays up.
Well, an 8-yard run to start the next drive for the Reavers, but then Trinity Valley actually comes up with a nice stop of their own.
Yeah, and again, I think we didn't get anything really consistently going, on offense. It went in spots where we got to be a little bit more consistent across.
Another run by Akese, and most of the workload went on to him on that day. He was basically your only running back that you had. We
were hoping that we could keep him in the game because we knew we were thin at the position, and give him a lot of credit. Took a lot of snaps.
Well, Trinity Valley, this one good for a first down on the pass completion here in the second quarter. Still up 10-7, feeling pretty good. And then Ryan Polite takes this gain for a 3-yard run to the outside.
Yeah, and again, our defense sees that play every single day in practice. So I felt they prepared for that one pretty well.
Trinity Valley coming up with the zone read, and your guys again coming up with a big stop. Defensive line, mostly all new guys aside from Landon and Marco, but they came together pretty quickly.
They did, and we had to play a lot of them because of the heat and just the physical game.
One of Geronimo's 10 catches on the day for a short gain, a timeout, and then the Reavers will head to the half up 10-7. And, all in all, what did you say to the guys at halftime?
Well, I felt, at halftime, I felt we left some chances on there. There were some points out on the field. I felt we probably, really shot ourselves in the foot offensively. Defensively was playing well. We gave up a punt return. That's how they got their score, and we had a blocked field goal. So, I was pleased, but I just said, keep plugging. We have 30 minutes to go, and let's finish this thing off.
Well, a lead's a lead, and you go up 10-7 into the locker room, and that's a good thing. When we return, we'll look at the second half of action, and a winner is determined in the final minutes of the Reavers' first ball game. You won't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Aww. You should pick that up.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how. Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
The Coach Stroh Show continues here on CBTV Channel 17. Iowa Western leading Trinity Valley at the half 10-7. Jake Ryan along with head coach Scott Strohmeyer. Coach, we know what you said to the guys. What kind of adjustments did you make leading into the second half?
Well, we didn't have to change. We didn't change a lot of what we maybe tweaked some things of some plays we wanted to maybe run a little bit more. We felt pretty good defensively. We just had to continue on, putting the pressure on them. And I think the biggest thing, special teams wise, we just got to play assignment football. So it was really, we didn't have to adjust a lot. We just had to trust our technique and play what we've been pushing them for the entire camp.
Well, your team with a 3-point lead and Trinity Valley getting the ball to start the second half. Let's take a look at those second half highlights as the Cardinals come out and immediately throwing to the outside in the second half, a 10-yard pass to start things out. And they looked like they got maybe a little bit comfortable and started making some completions and sustaining some drives. Iowa Western stopping the run here, and then a 3rd and short coming up for the Reavers.
They did, like I said, they did a good job coming out. They were going to get the quick pass game going, and kind of, like we do in the bubble screens, and big play there, to stop them on 3rd and short.
Absolutely. So they punt, you guys get it back, and immediately Connor hooking up for a 10-yard gain on 1st down and 10.
Yeah, it was coming in. That was one of the plays that we felt we had to come back to at some point. And Connor did a good job there protecting.
Here's a run by Akis Teague. I've got a picture of this play. The guy actually has his hands on both sides of his face mask, and Akis loses the ball on it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's one of those calls you may think that they miss, or we know they miss, but we give them an opportunity, to get a short field.
Well, Trinity Valley looking to run a little trickeration there, and it results in a loss of 4, so that's a good thing. But here comes a big gain from Ryan Polite.
Yeah, they tried striking us after the turnover, and then, we just missed one there, and they get a big play.
Down to the 20-yard line, they take a shot at the end zone on our next play, and it was not a complete pass, thank goodness.
Yeah, well, and Jamie Bird, I think, came in and broke that up, but he was there, just made a good play.
Trinity Valley's kicker Dylan McLean on and ties the score with a 42-yard field goal. And so a tie ball game. You had trailed earlier, now it's tied for the first time in a long time, and you'll start the next drive with a 2-yard run.
Yeah, and it was disappointing because that turnover gave them a short field to get the field goal, and then we come back and we got to get something going offensively. It's 10-10. Get a little bit of pressure there. You had to turn it there. We had to punt it to them right away. And
this was, I believe, the one where Connor stuck it down inside the 5-yard line, and they'll start off with a 5-yard run. You got them deep in their own territory. What are you and the defensive coaches thinking here?
Well, one, it's good, that we're down. They end up getting out of it on a pass play down the sidelines there. But you could feel, like I felt there was a little bit of momentum changing there. They were getting a little bit more confidence. We turned it over. They tied it. We go 3 and out. Punt it to them deep, and then they get a couple big plays to get out of there. But defensively, like I said, they're playing pretty well. We get the ball back.
Well, you forced them to punt, and you'll start off this drive with a 9-yard pass. Gets it across midfield again. Geronimo Allison with the catch.
Had a good game. 10 catches. He's the most experienced guy there. So it was good to see him.
Taking a shot downfield, and it almost looked like your guys had to flip into the defensive there rather than being on the offensive.
We did, and we were trying to get something where we could get a big play, trying to change that momentum a little bit. Didn't work out, but here we come back. This is Georgia's touchdown, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah.
And Connor did a nice job again. It's a run pass option, and that play, like I said, that was the second touchdown off that play.
22-yard pass to George Seal for his second touchdown of the day. Trinity Valley coming right back, though. They start off with a 15-yard pass and then continue to move the ball.
They did, and it's give them a lot of credit. They kept fighting offensively too. I was impressed with both teams. They were just kept fighting. That's a big old tight end.
Yeah,
there.
They had a couple big tight ends.
Committed to Texas, but good old player.
Then a 6-yard gain, and then their penalty will push them back, and then this run will stall the drive out. They're forced to punt again, and you guys take over, still leading 17-10.
Yeah, and now is where, as an offense, you got to sustain a drive. I felt defensively we were on the field. We didn't have a ton of things going offensively. We just took the lead. Here's an opportunity that you can kind of put them away. And brings it into the fourth quarter here. Big 3rd down catch there by Brian Johnson. Keep that drive alive, but then we end up punting it back, pin them deep.
Now here's Trinity Valley's equalizing drive. They start off with a runs, and that's just seemed what they were doing. Ryan Polite, pretty big quarterback back there, and he was seeing things what it looked like.
He is a good player. I think that's the biggest difference, why I think this team will be successful. Trinity Valley's going to have a good year because their quarterback play is pretty good.
So several short gains here, a 4-yard gain, a 6-yard gain, a 1-yard sneak, and then they're going to come up with a pretty big play off of a screen pass, and this is not it, but it will be coming up. And it just seemed like every time you guys got them into long situations that they fought out of it, and this is one of them, an 18-yard gain off the screen.
Yeah, I mean, that just comes down, we gotta make a play there, and but it's set up pretty nice, and give them some credits on some of their calls as well.
Here's another big one down the middle. Todd Green really was a huge player for them.
Every time it was thrown his direction, you had to take a breath. He had a home run ability.
Another 5-yard gain here on the run up the middle, and then a ensuing play followed by a penalty.
Well, this drive really was, and again, it's deep into the fourth quarter, and I could feel that both defensive lines were getting tired, and I think they ended up 17, 19 plays or something on this drive. But
well, that last play, we almost thought it was going to be a penalty on the Reavers, but it was a hold. And then on the ensuing play, now they get a 4th and 1, and it's a little bit iffy spot. You and I talked about this, but they got a pretty good spot on this one where, for some reason, Polite, instead of running up the middle, takes it outside.
Well, and I think because he knew anytime he came under center, we're hollering out sneak, so he's just trying to get back outside. That was just we had a blown assignment, and our safety goes over to help cover it up, and they end up getting one on us.
Yeah, Todd Green gets in on the 3rd down and 15, and they score to tie the game 17-17. Fourth quarter as the time continues to wind down, and here's this drive where you guys finally get it going. This is the biggest run of the game right here.
Yeah, it was. It kind of broke down there, and Connor makes a play and reaches out to get it. This was what I was so pleased about offensively in a game like this, where they score and it's going back and forth, and I think this kind of set the tone for our offense of showing what they can do.
Keith Tig with the big run there on 20 yards. Next play, how about a 12-yard gain for the Reavers? That'll get you to the 30-yard line.
And again, we're feeling pretty confident going in. They're trying to substitute. They're tired. We're wearing them down. And another big run there by Keith. He's kind of was a horse there at the end.
Absolutely, and he gets rewarded here. 16 yards on the fake by Connor. Sold it pretty good, yep. And he gets all the way into the end zone, knocks a Trinity Valley defender down on his way in. The official got knocked down a little bit too, but he makes the call. So Trinity Valley gets one more shot late in the game, and it was very late. I was wondering how we were going to call an overtime period.
Well, I was hoping that it wasn't going to be that tonight. When I'm going to give a lot of credit. George Seal here, who had a good game receiving the ball. Receiving. He chases him down.
Yep.
It's a game-saving tackle right there.
Oh, absolutely.
Otherwise, he scores.
So on 2nd down, it'll be Markwell McNack running for a short gain. And they actually had a 1st down and goal from the 5. And this time, they will throw it inside, and this is where they get that catch.
Yeah. So, it was a heck of a throw, heck of a catch. Jamie is in good position. They got one in. And
we're under 2 minutes to play. This is a huge play here that their wide receiver jumps on. Otherwise, it's Reaver football, and the game's over.
I thought the game was over there.
4th and goal, and this is it right here. Into the end zone. We thought that they were going to go to the tight end. They went to pick it, one of their big tight ends, and Jamie Bird got a hand in there. I don't know if you've seen the photo or not, but his hand was in there pushing that one away. And the Reavers will come away with the victory. And
we like that formation.
Yeah, the victory formation. The timeouts were wrong on the board, so we weren't sure that. We thought maybe they still had 3 left.
They had 2, and after the game, you can probably see it on the video. Their coach was a little bit upset at the official. He said he was trying to get 1 more, but we knew they had 1 more, so we took a knee, and they would have to burn it, and we could have just ran it out on 3rd down. But a good win. I think the biggest thing for me, there's lots of room for improvement. Like I said, there's lots of teachable moments in that week 1. I told the guys afterwards I'd have been sick to my stomach if we had lost that game because I felt we had so many opportunities.
Absolutely.
So to come out ahead, to head into practice this week and saying we got a lot of things to improve on and still be 1-0, that's huge.
Yeah, well, it's a lot easier. I know I said this to you after the game. If you just hit the ball in the hole in the first shot. And this season, it was a little bit more fun to call, that's for sure, Coach. But too close for comfort. Make them a little bit bigger than that.
We'll try.
All right. Well, it was a big win for you, as you said, maybe one of the biggest of the season, and it's only the first game. Let's take a look at some of the final game statistics as they are flashed up here on the board. Connor with a good day. Threw the ball a lot. Not only did Connor throw the ball a lot, but also their quarterback, Ryan Polite, did as well. I think he had more attempts than Connor did.
Yeah, and I think the big thing for that is the style of offenses that they're short, quick, screen games, and that's what a lot of Connor's passes are called run plays, and we just have built-in, passes off of them. So, but again, both offenses similar. I think they threw 50, we threw 44. A lot of plays.
Yeah, Gmo with 10 catches, George with a pair of touchdown catches, and Akisa with 18 carries. Didn't quite get to that 100-yard mark, but had a touchdown of his own as well.
And he had some hard physical. And like I said, he played pretty much the whole game at tailback,
yeah.
and so he was getting pretty wore down too. And like I said, we didn't get into sync offensively all throughout the course of the game either. We had little spurts. So I assume as we get going in the season, and you'll see him have some more breakout games as well.
All right, Coach. Well, once you get those special teams solidified, I think you'll be all right. A couple big returns gave them a chance in that game, and other than that, pretty good play for the Reavers. When we come back a little bit later, we'll talk about this weekend's game. And when we come back right after this, we'll come back with Iowa Western TV student Aaron Zach. He'll sit down with Reavers starting quarterback Connor Brevard and find out what it's like to be the signal caller for the defending national champions. We'll see you on the other side.
Here we go. We're gonna make some juice.
Looks good.
You ready to try it?
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
It's okay.
Okay. She took another sip. You saw it?
Search We Can for ideas on how to get healthy together.
Welcome back to the Coach Stroh Show. I'm Aaron Zach, joined by Iowa Western starting quarterback Connor Brevard. Connor, thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Describe the feeling after you got the first win underneath your belt.
Honestly, I was really sore, but it was a great feeling to get the win, and come home from Texas with the W was really big, so I was really happy and really excited about that.
Were you excited to go down to Texas, even though it's an 11-hour drive? It kind of wears on your body a little bit. Did that have any effect on you?
No, the coaches are really good about treating us right. We stay in really nice hotels. They're always feeding us and giving us drinks and water, so it didn't take too much of a toll on us, and we were ready to go.
So I was reading an article the other day, and I read that when you were in high school, as a starting quarterback, you never lost a game. Is that true?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to win all the games and go undefeated. So, and I'm glad the streak has stayed alive so far in college. So hopefully keep that going.
Is there any pressure on you to up your game a little bit more each week, or what's your mindset for that?
No pressure. Just kind of do my job. Focus on what I can control, and helping this offense move forward and getting better every week. And that's what I focus on. I don't really worry about what other people say. I just try to do my job.
Now, obviously, you're filling in big shoes this year.
Yeah.
Jake Waters, the 2012 NJCAA Player of the Year, just got starting name position at Kansas State. What kind of pressure are you under knowing that you have to fill that big of a shoes?
Yeah, honestly, I don't feel any pressure. I don't try to fill Jake Waters' shoes. I'm not Jake Waters. I'm Connor Brevard, but Jake and I were great friends, and I texted him today and congratulated him, and he was texting me about the game. He said he was watching it. So we keep a good friendship and good relationship. But I want to be myself. I'm a different quarterback, and that comes to some different things. And but I think it's good. I can add some positive things to this offense and keep us going forward.
Is there any adjustments you have to make yourself better each week?
Oh yeah, definitely. From week to week, obviously watch the film, see what we did wrong, and I want to improve on those things and get better going forward. So just try to be the best quarterback I can be to try to get the ultimate goal of win another national championship.
How much time do you actually spend in the film room studying all your moves and all the passes and handoffs? How much time do you actually spend in there?
Yeah, it kind of varies from day to day, but usually around 45 minutes to an hour a day we watch film, either of the opponent or the previous day practice. So it just kind of depends on which day of the week it is, game prep or watching film from the previous practice.
All right. Well, once again, thank you, Connor, for taking the time out of your schedule to join us here today. Coming up after the break, the voice of the Reavers, Jake Ryan, sits down with Coach Joe Meyer to talk about what's next for the defending national champions. We'll be right back.
I see it!
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Finding Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Back to the Coach Stroh Show on CBTV Channel 17. With success comes recognition and opportunity, and Iowa Western's success on the field has been well documented, and in just 4 seasons, the Reavers have sent over 80 players to 4-year schools following their time at Iowa Western, 54 to Division I programs. And Coach, here's where the latest bunch of D1 recruits are at now. You look at the big one that I think everybody's going to be following, especially here in Council Bluffs, is the fact that Jake Waters named the starting quarterback at Kansas State, and that game on Friday night, so the Reaver fans won't even have to miss anything. They'll get a chance to watch that game at 7:30 on Fox Sports 1 when they take on North Dakota State.
I mean, I'm excited for Jake. You know, he's earned that opportunity and put himself in position of being the starting quarterback at K-State, so it'll be exciting to see him out there. It was funny because during our game, and we have Alex Reed, we're number 15. I had to double take. I seen 15 running around, and but Jake said it was hard watching the game too without being out there. But I said it was hard watching without him being out there.
Well, you know, we did a little research and we looked at it. Only Jake has worn 15 because it was Wes Smith that had 15 that first year, and he redshirted. So nobody's worn 15 other than Council Bluffs kids. So it's been Jake Waters and now Alex Reed.
And that was the plan. We you know, who do you put into it after what he did, and we decided Alex hometown had a really successful career at LC and now playing wideout. So
well, hopefully he's got a good career and moves on as well. That's a look at where some former Reaver players are now. Coach, your current roster looking to improve to 2-0 with the home opener on Saturday, August. I'm already in September. August the 31st at 6 o'clock at Lewis Central. You guys moved the game back just due to the heat, and it's the first night game ever to be played at Lewis Central. Kind of an appropriate opponent. It's also the first opponent that you ever played in the history of Reaver football.
I guess I never really thought of it like that, but it'll be neat. You know, first night game, will like it. You know, obviously a rivalry game, and seeing how we can bounce back. This will be their first game, but our guys are really excited about the possibility, you know, playing at night.
Well, being their first game, what do you know about them?
You know, we don't know a lot about what they're going to do. I know they've changed, and it's well documented that they're changing to more of a spread pistol offense and some option stuff similar to what Grand Rapids did when we played them in 2010. But to what extent, we have no idea. We have no film on them, so this is their first test that they're going to have of their new offense. I wouldn't assume that they're going to change too much defensively, but you never know because we had some success the last couple of years against them, so they might change something. So we're going into it. Our entire offense will be ready to go. We'll make some adjustments if they give us something that we don't know.
Again, 6 o'clock kickoff, and the pregame on 89.7 The River will be at 5 o'clock. It is not the Kinney Cup. The Kinney Cup game will be October the 12th, so this is the Kinney Cup preview game. So you'll have to load it in the bus and take it with you to Fort Dodge when that game comes along.
Yep. Initially we were thinking it was this one, but we'll have to load it up on the way down and carry it down and plan on bringing it back.
Hope make sure it doesn't get broken this year. All right, thanks, Coach. This wraps up this edition of the Coach Stroh Show. We'd like to thank again Coach Strohmeyer and quarterback Connor Brevard for joining us in studio, and thanking again you for tuning in. I'd like to also thank the IWTV crew helping out today, and of course CBTV 17. I'm Jake Ryan. We're signing off until next week. Remember, go Reavers.